Second, he was taught that God's approval cannot be won except through the allegiance to his imam, or teacher, viewed as the guardian of God's word. In the third, he is instructed into the nature of his imam. In the fourth, he is taught that Muhammad was not the last of the prophets, and that the Quran is not God's final revelation to man, an implicit breach with the teachings of the Quran. The fifth and sixth elaborate on the allegorical nature of the outward practices and customs of Islam. The seventh held that both humanity and creation were one, with all phenomena existing as a fraction of the whole, including both creative and destructive power. The eighth taught that all religion and ideology was fraudulent, including Islam, preparing the initiate for the ninth and final secret, that the student was now freed from belief, acting as a purified philosopher in the knowledge that nothing, literally, was true, and that the only permissible belief was action, and furthermore that the only possessor of the reasons for carrying out any action whatsoever was the mysterious Grand Master of the order, Hassan I-Saba himself. How were so many impressionable young men so easily swayed to renounce their upbringing and the beliefs of conventional Islam and plunge headfirst into nihilism and martyrdom for the sake of one man's lust for omnipotence and revenge? Deep within the maze-like fortress of Alamut, Hassan had constructed a lavish artificial paradise, replete with beautiful gardens, music, flowing rivers and ravishing dancing houris to bedazzle the eyes of would-be converts, unwittingly drugged with liberal amounts of hashish, from where the order derived their namesake. With his propagandists leading them through a tour of this paradise, the pilgrims either became so entranced by the visions before them that they converted on the spot, begging to while away their time in this Eden, or became so frightened that they begged to flee, swearing that their hosts must be sorcerers or magicians. In either case, it was only through obedience to divine will of Hassan I-Saba that entrance or exit was permitted. Only by swearing their fealty to this mysterious master were these senseless young men granted access to paradise on earth, or return to their former lives. Few refused. And how successful was this tactic, which marks the first historical instance of brainwashing? The influence of Hassan swept not only through Persia, but Egypt, Syria, Azerbaijan and much of the Arab world, rumored to reach as far as France. Acting upon the Grand Master's orders, his faithful Edain gained entrance into courts, villages and camps, often disguised in local garb and speaking in local dialects. After gaining the trust of those rivals they were ordered to infiltrate, they assassinated each target by dagger, always in full public view and always in daylight. It is worth noting that the Hashishin were never permitted to murder a civilian. Their first target was Hassan's old rival, Nizam al-Mulk.